how's it going, everyone? WTFSexyHeadphones here. Happy Mondays or Tuesdays to you guys. I have had a rather interesting, spontaneous, unexpected week in some cases here. I don't even know where to begin, but I guess let's begin with the beginning. For those of you who were in my stream, I believe it was Monday evening after my vlog, you will probably know this already, what I'm about to say. For those of you who were not, let me tell you how that went. It was one of my more interesting streams, if you guys have not got to hear about it or see yet. But pretty much I was playing Killing Floor 2 that day, and I was in a map called Farm, and I was doing Suicidal since I've gotten back into the wing of Killing Floor enough to be able to kind of play the harder difficulties a little bit better, so we've been kind of working our way up. It's been great. And there was a guy in the chat who was a little bit weird. And you know how you know when people are trolling because they use like a lot of the basic stuff, I want to say, if that's the correct word for it. Kind of like the usual lines. Like this dude was making a point to mention like, oh, I'm obviously playing a hard difficulty, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, like I'm super new to this game, like I have no idea what I'm doing. And then on top of that, just being really silly and just being like, you guys look like you're having fun. Like, do you want to be friends? Like, we should be friends. Can I be friends? Like doing stuff like that. And you just kind of know someone's just being like trolly and silly. I don't think I said anything to that. I think I said something later on that pertained to the game. I don't know what, but I spoke over mic. And then, of course, they ask, are you a girl or a girl gamer or something to that extent? And some of you guys don't know this about me. Some of you do. But through the years of gaming online, my natural response when people ask if I'm a girl is to tell them that I'm a 12-year-old boy whose balls have not dropped yet. That's my natural response. Because when you're asked that question as a chick, it can go a few different ways. A lot of them tend to be irritating. And after, like, I've been online gaming, I think on Steam since 2009. You kind of just learn not to fuck with it anymore and just not to entertain people whenever they ask that question, just because it's, as I said, the majority of the time it can go a rather frustrating way. So I just literally tell people, I'm a boy, I'm 12 years old, my balls haven't dropped yet. This is why I sound this way. Now, thankfully, though, I think there's a lot more girl gamers online today than there was back, like, when I was gaming. I got that question a lot more frequently when, like, around 2009, 10, 11, kind of around those years than I do now. I think people are a bit more used to the fact that lots of chicks love playing video games these days. It's not just a male thing anymore. Let's get over that. But anyway, so I started having, like, this, like, trolly, silly back and forth with this dude, and someone was mentioning, like, the name, like, he sounds like Greek or something like that. And I did not know what they were talking about. And then eventually, if you guys know me, if you've been to my stream, I average like 10 to 15 viewers. I have a very cute, sweet, loyal community that shows up. And it's awesome. I love talking to you guys. I love being able to interact with you. But I average like 10 to 15 viewers. So I look over at my chat and I have like 30 people in. And I'm like, well, that's weird because no one's hosting me. Like, where did these people come from? Because no one... Not to be rude to myself, but no one just shows up to my stream in droves of people, unless like someone like hosted me or something like that. Like the other day, someone hosted me for like 40 viewers or something. But other than that, no one just shows up. No offense to myself. And people start bringing up the name Greek, like I think that's Greek or whatever, blah, blah. And eventually someone's like, you're playing with Greek God. That's who you're playing with. And I don't know about you guys, but I did not know who that was. I don't know if you all know who that is. If you're like me and did not know, he is a very, very popular like OG Twitch streamer. Thousands upon thousands of viewers, really popular. And actually, I've seen a few of his videos. I just didn't know who he was because when I watch like some of these really, like really short, funny internet videos, I don't pay attention to particularly normally who the person is. I just watch it and I laugh and then I continue on. So I've seen you guys probably seen this video too, the eye tracking video where he tried not to look at boobies, and he made a great glorious speech about how he was going to represent men everywhere and not do it, and then proceeded to instantly stare at tits, and it was really fucking funny. But anyway, besides seeing that video, I'm like, I have no idea who this person is. But if you guys didn't know either, he's a very popular Twitch streamer, popular YouTuber, and so on. He has a huge legion of fans, and somehow we ended up in the same game together. And people are like, this is who you're playing with. Like, how do you not know? Like, you are playing with someone who's like, like, you're not important. This person is. Like, be humble. And so I go on mic, and I'm just like, hey, like, some people are telling me that your name is Greek. Is that true? His name was Ted in game. And he's like, who's telling you? I'm like, my viewers are telling me. And then because I said that, at first I didn't understand where people were coming from, but I guess a bunch of people decided to look up who was playing Killing Floor 2, which there's not a lot of people I've learned that stream Killing Floor 2. I still think the game's the shit. So I'm like, why don't people play this? Why aren't people streaming it? But anyway, so they pretty much looked to see who was streaming it, and a bunch of people found my stream via that. And so before I know it, I look over to, once another match ends or a round ends, I look over to my thing, and I have like 150 people in my stream, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Who are you people? Where did you come? Well, I didn't really understand where they came from at the time, because my gamer tag is different than obviously what my YouTube channel and my Twitch is. So I'm just kind of like, where are they coming from? How is this happening? Yeah, like my dumb ass was just not really thinking of the fact that you could just search it, or I was assuming that there's a lot more people playing Killing Floor than just me and this really popular guy. So all of a sudden, for the smallest point in time, my stream got flooded with, for me, a lot of people. 150 people, or slightly more than that, is a fuck ton for someone who averaged 10 to 15 viewers. And then I got a good amount of follows, so like while I'm playing the game, like it was a very intense match. So I literally could not look at the chat if anyone was saying anything. I could not look at the chat. If I get a follow, I love to shout people out for following or subbing and so on. And I just hear my Invader Zim notification going off like crazy, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, I can't even look, because Farm, if you guys haven't seen that map, is like this big. So when you're playing Suicidal, there's very little kite room. Everyone was standing. I don't know why, but for some reason, the whole group wanted to be outside, and it's better to be by the group than not. So we're literally outside in the middle where shit just comes from every angle, and it's a constant battle for survival. So I'm like, I couldn't even look through it. So I just hear all this shit going on, and I'm like, I can't even see what's happening because I don't want to die. And pretty much that went as quickly as it came. I was in a match with Ted, or aka Greek God, for just that match, and then I guess he went off to play something else. I don't know. Apparently he didn't want to be friends with all of us. What the shit, dude? I thought you wanted to be friends. But nevertheless, that was my 15 minutes of being slightly a somebody. A little, like, I went from this peasant to higher peasant. And that was by like 15 minutes of fame. Naturally, I've been streaming since then, and my viewership is back to the usual, like, average 10 to 15 viewers and so on, with like the same chatty people and so on, which I love you guys. I love having a conversation with you. So it was very short-lived, but it was super cool. For a few minutes, I knew what it was like to be a cool person, and that was pretty neat. Other streaming interesting things, probably not as exciting, but I liked it. More heartfelt, a lot more heartfelt streaming. If you guys didn't catch the stream yesterday for the 34th anniversary of Chernobyl, I did a kind of rather spontaneous charity stream for the dogs of Chernobyl. If you guys are new, or if you guys have been on my channel, you should know what that is, so I'm not going to go into it. But I decided to do something a little different. Instead of asking, per se, for the most part, instead of really asking you guys for donations, anytime a person followed, because it's good and free, I donated $2 to the Dogs of Chernobyl Fund, and anyone who decided that they wanted to just do like a tier level 1 subscribe, I donated $10. So we actually also did have a donation. Cookie Monster donated, as well as No Clue. So with the follows I got, the subs I got, and then the donations from No Clue and Cookie as well, we ended up donating $250 to the Dogs of Chernobyl yesterday. They needed a little bit more now than ever because they're a lot more reliant on the Clean Future funds to... I really need to remember to take off this screensaver. Since there's fires in Chernobyl right now, which I think I heard yesterday that they're completely contained, and I believe the majority, if not all of them, are actually out now. The power plant workers and the people around obviously have not been in the zone, who are normally the ones kind of feeding the dogs and taking care of them. Clean Future Funds has done is doing a feeding program for the dogs where they go into the zone and they feed them. So now more than ever, they kind of need it just because some of the usual support the dogs have, they do not, just due to the fires going on. I imagine things will get back to normal relatively soon-ish. Since the fires are pretty much gone. I don't know how long it'll take for the radiation levels to go down. But I thought, you know what, if we're going to do something for the 24th anniversary of Chernobyl and we're going to do a stream, we might as well do something for the doggies as well, right? You guys know it's like my heart. You know I have a Chernobyl mutt somewhere in my house. I don't know where she is, but she's around here. So I figured, you know what, why not? Like anyone who supports my channel, even with just a follow, I will donate some money onto there. So we ended up donating $250 yesterday to kind of help that cause out. And then on top of that too, you guys haven't got to see Stalker content from me from a little while. I have had a lot of you tell me to play Anomaly, and so I downloaded Anomaly last minute as well. I was just going to do Lost Alpha because I still had it on my computer. But I'm like, you know what? I've had so many people tell me to do Anomaly. We'll do that. Boy, howdy. Are there a fuck ton of anomalies in there? I die all the time by them, and it is fucking awful. It is really bad. Anyway, so we'll probably do another stream of that. I know a lot of you guys are Stalker fans, so feel free. Links down below to the Twitch, to the Discord, to the fan page. I announce when I'm streaming on all of their platforms, and obviously Twitch lets you know. So feel free to follow those. We'll see about doing some more Anomaly streams where I will die a lot. Anyway, so that has been my week. Well, that's been more the fun part of my week. My week, really, the majority of my week has been computer forensics homework. I had to write a paper in a week called Operation Stop Hack, which you didn't really stop any hacks. You literally had to describe about crime scenes, how to collect evidence, chain of custodies, and so on. I didn't really stop anything. And then I had to read 2 chapters of forensic nonsense. I had to do 2 labs. I had to do 2 quizzes. I had to do a discussion. That's honestly what most of my week has been like. I wanted to be more active with you guys, but I had a ridiculously overwhelming amount of homework, and I spent most of my time being miserable doing that. So what you heard prior was the fun parts of my week that I really enjoyed. The rest of it has been really blah. Anyway, you guys, I am going to see you guys in some more Killing Floor. Due to that week, I was not able to get you Killing Floor. I'm sorry. Some Metro, and then keep an eye out on those links down below. We'll see about streaming as well. Bye. Feel my power.